Hello and welcome back to my channel. We have just arrived in what is my 40th country that I've traveled to, and we are in Slovakia, in the capital city of Bratislava. Very excited to be here. We took the train from Vienna to Bratislava, and there's a cool little clip of me crossing the border and waving, which I'll insert right here. We're gonna make our way to our hotel, and then we're gonna spend the next 24 hours exploring this city. Stay tuned and let's get this show on the road. Made it to our hotel. Time to go exploring. We just finished eating at Panenska Caviar and it was so good. They cater to gluten and non-gluten eaters, and it's celiac safe as well, which is fantastic, really good. Would highly recommend. Now we're going to do a free walking tour of the city. And we've decided to do the Soviet era tour, 20th century tour, that's what it's called. Which should be really interesting and highlight what's going on in the city and give us a brief overview of what's happened in the last 50 years.
Towel into ring, I would say. You said earlier the old vice president became president. No, he became prime minister.
We just finished our free tour of the city, the 20th century side. It was really interesting. It's free, so if you're ever in Bratislava, definitely worth doing. You should pay a tip at the end, but we just put a little bit of money in for him. He was really good, very interesting. Yeah, now off to do more exploring. Garlic soup.
Pink pierogies.
After eating some delicioso Slovak food, we are heading back to the hotel, and we will see you guys in the morning. Good morning! We have just checked out of our hotel, and we are going to spend the next few hours exploring the outskirts of Bratislava and then coming back into the city. So our first stop is a castle right on the border of Austria and Slovakia. Yeah, that's the country we're in. I'm really struggling this morning. Haven't had coffee, so first, coffee fee. So we just went to a little cafe behind me called Kep's Cafeteria, and you will not believe how much these coffees were. We got 2 Americanos, and the total price for 2 Americanos was €2. You can't even get one friggin' coffee in London for that price, and usually they're shit. So London, minus points to you. Bratislava, many multiple awesome points for having affordable coffee that smells pretty good. We just had our breakfast in a very peaceful cemetery, and then this old man came to pay respects to, I assume, his wife, but probably a family member or a friend, and it was really emotional and really sad, but really touching. Yeah, very beautiful moment. Now off to see a castle. So the memorial we just saw is dedicated to the 400 people that were slain trying to cross the Iron Curtain into the west. On this side we've got the Slovakian side, which was under the USSR, and on the not free side of the Iron Curtain, and right behind me over there we've got Austria, which was freedom, and the west, and what people were trying to escape to, and who this memorial is dedicated to. So pretty buzzy to be here. Kind of sad, kind of crazy. This was only 30 odd years ago, 40 years ago. So, you know, a very real part of our history. Not when I was alive for it, but, you know, our parents would have been. So, yeah. I think if you do come to Bratislava, I would highly recommend making the journey out to this castle. It doesn't take that long. It's about €1 for public transport. It's actually 70 euros for 15 minutes, and I think €1 for 30, and it only takes about 18 minutes on the bus, and it leaves basically from the city center. So it takes you in and out, and then it's about a 10-minute walk, but you get to walk through this cute little village, so would recommend. You should do it. If you were actually wondering about the Iron Curtain and the concept, there actually was, from 1949 to 1989, a massive barbed wire fence guarded by soldiers, which formed the Iron Curtain. So it was a real curtain, and you know, it's not just a word that we use. It was real. There was an actual fence preventing people from crossing and coming in. And in case you didn't know, during that time period, this place was called Czechoslovakia, because it was the Czech Republic and Slovakia combined. Facts, history.
Hey look, it's the noob. And a big river behind.
Oni proste rýchlo leteli, a keď ťa to trafilo, tak...
Just finishing up our tour of the castle before we make our way back to the city for our last few hours in Bratislava. Roaming the streets as we go pick up our stuff from the hotel, and just a few notes that I'd like to add are Bratislava is really not a touristy city. There are tourists here, but comparatively to Prague and to Vienna, it feels quite empty and it really feels more authentic. Even the castle we went to earlier, they only do tours in Slovakian, I think is the language, but not in English, only if there's like a big enough demand, and there was pretty much no English speaking people there. So it really is a hidden gem. Yeah, it's cool. So my top tips for you are to come to Bratislava. That's tip number 1. 2 is to do the free tours. You can do them on 20th century or on kind of just general Bratislava and Slovakian history, or you can do kind of a spooky night tour one, which is really cool. 3, try some local food, obviously, that's just a given. 4, wander Old Town. And 5, go visit the castle on the outskirts of the city because it's really cool. So if you are interested, I will link everything in the description below, and if you do come to the city, please tell me, and if you've already been, please let me know what you thought, and I will see you guys next time.
And do one just like bending down like them.